I don't want a traditional life. I'm not a traditional person and I'm an artist, so it suits really, really well. Lots of areas within this space to kind of hang out in, which I like. Some really, really good use of storage, like the drawers in here. So I paint and I create and I work from here. Hey, I'm Sonia. Welcome to my tiny house. It's called Bayscape Hideaway, so come and check it out. We are in the kitchen area of the tiny house, which is, in my opinion, I think it's actually a really good space because it's got nice width to it. So you've got room, which I really like. I do actually like all the gold fittings. I didn't think I would, but I actually really love them. So that was one thing that sold me on this as well. There is full gas burner oven, stovetop situation. There was 2 originally, but we ended up putting 4 in because I thought that would be a little bit more workable. As far as bench space goes, I think it's a really, really nice area. It's got lots of space. On the other side, we've got another space, which is another area to sit, which is pretty cool. So lots of areas within this space to kind of hang out in, which I like. We've also got my washer here. Didn't put a dryer in because I thought I didn't need it. So that's cool. Dishwasher size is really, really good. Small, but I think it's actually pretty decent. And the storage in here is phenomenal, actually. The cupboards are deep, easy to use, so they've got that little soft close cupboards. Also, I've installed shelving up here just for more storage, so I can display more things. Like, rather than just have things stuffed in cupboards, I like to display stuff that I like, you know, like the cool little cups and things like that with bits and pieces, which I absolutely adore. Over here at the back of the kitchen, we've got a massive pantry, which is actually bigger than the one I have at home. I live in 2 places, but we'll get to that soon. Pretty good sized fridge. I mean, I don't know the sizing of it, but I know it's a standard little fridge and it's got plenty of room. That again is really cool. I like the colours. We've got pretty much a full size shower in here. It's really, really good. They've got like the dome settings on the top, which basically entraps all the mist and all the condensation, so you're not getting moisture throughout the bathroom. So I've got a pull, basically a plastic door. It doesn't sound that great, and when I first saw it, I wasn't that keen on it. It's like a screen that you have to pull, but it's amazing, so you don't have to clean it all the time. And also you just leave that shut for about a minute, a couple of minutes after you've had a shower, and put the fan on, and all the condensation goes straight out that fan, which is really cool. And we've got a reasonably good sized sink because some tiny houses have quite fiddly sinks. One of our other ones has quite a tiny sink, which it's hard to get your face in and wash. And we also have an incinerator toilet in here, and I know a lot of tiny houses have compostable. I wasn't down for that. So I have an incinerator toilet, which is really good. I would possibly buy a different brand just because I've heard they're more environmentally friendly, but this was actually given to me, so I'm not complaining, so I'm pretty lucky. And as far as storage in here, because it's such a small section, I did actually put in some shelving so I could have I've got some wooden boxes along the top which I can store things in because there wasn't that much storage in here, which I really like. I've been here for probably about 2 years, I would say, or just under. So I predominantly live half here and half in Wellington, which is down south in New Zealand. So I use the space as an art studio, really. So yeah, so I paint and I create and I work from here. As everyone knows, the housing prices are, they're unattainable for some people, for most people. I'm not that sort of person. I didn't want a big house. I'm on my own and I'm quite a free spirit. So I needed somewhere where I can, like a safety really, so it's something that I owned. Yeah, so predominantly just freedom, I think. I just didn't want to, I don't want a traditional life. I'm not a traditional person and I'm an artist, so it suits really, really well. This is my living quarters, my living room, but also it is another bed in here as well. So this can be made into a huge bed, actually. It can come out to about here. I don't use it as a bed though, obviously. I just use it as storage. Really, really nice big drawers stuffed full of artwork. These are pretty cool. Apparently they're for shoes, so I've got some shoes in them. First of all, I didn't love them, but then I've become quite accustomed to them. So shoes and books and skate wheels and stuff like that go in there. And also all my art well, not all my art. I recently had an exhibition, so some of that exhibition is here and is to be on the walls, but I haven't quite got to that part yet. As you can see by looking around the kitchen, and then in here, there's lots of little spaces and lots of some really, really good use of storage, like the drawers in here. All the stairs have storage in them as well. That's really, really well utilised. There's a big cupboard in there behind my art, which is again goes right back to the end of the house. I put shelving in here just to give it that little bit of texture, because it was sort of everything was walls really. And also you need to showcase things. Well, again, because it joins on from the kitchen, this whole floor space is where I just spread out. I paint, I lift weights here. I create, because I'm also a production designer, art director, so I create here, I make things. This floor space is usually a little bit of a mess. And usually up here, I can actually take that cushion off and throw it up in the loft and use that as a space as well, or as a surface to do things on. So multi-purpose really, so it's multifaceted. We've got a loft at each end of my house. In the middle we go up, so we've got like a big open space. And up in that area, I have got a pegboard made up in here so that I can actually, it just gives a little bit of interest. It was just a blank wall and I thought I could smash it with art, which is great. But I also wanted to have shelving up there as well, so I can do art or anything basically, because that's interchangeable. So you just put your pegs in, you put your boards on, which were made for it specifically, which is cool. It doesn't have a lot happening up there at the moment. I haven't quite installed my light properly, but that's all in the makings. So now we've moved in the loft. This is on the opposite side to my room. It kind of is supposed to be my office, but you can probably see that there's just clothes everywhere. So at the moment, I'm using it as a storage space with some art in it. And also when it's raining, I hang laundry up in here because it's amazing and warm. There's a desk, a fold-up desk that's in it as well. So you use the floor to sit on, and then you've got a flip-up desk. And so I work and I look out to Napier, which is really beautiful. Lots of trees and sea view, so I'm pretty lucky. Okay, so the size of this house, and don't quote me, I know it's 8 meters long and I think it's about 2.3 wide, you know, so it's a good size. There's obviously smaller ones and bigger ones. If you're going to tow your tiny house, you need to have it road legal, and you have to have specific weight and a specific size. So, you know, there's all those sort of things that we need to take into consideration. So price-wise for this, I'm not sure of specifics, but I think that the base was around 180. Don't quote me, or something like that, and then I've put another 25 in, maybe more, just modifying a few bits and pieces. The workmanship was really, really good. They did a really, really nice job with very solid fittings and things like that. Yeah, so this is my room. King size bed. It was supposed to have queen. It was designed for queen, but I've thrown a king size bed in because why not? Still considerable space at the end of the bed. Not as much storage, obviously. I have a lot of clothes, a lot of t-shirts, just stuff. So, but we are in a tiny house, so it's got considerable amount of space. A little wardrobe, which is all right, pretty good. I've got like a little window that you can look out, and it looks straight through the loft out to Napier with the light. So it's nice. It's a nice little space. We got some louvers put in, which gives you a bit of privacy. It also creates a little bit of separation between the two rooms. So if there is somebody staying in the loft, they can close the blinds. You can still hear each other, but you at least get privacy. So we've just come outside into the outside area. Obviously, when we bought this tiny house here, it didn't have anything around it. It was just like a concrete pad and dirt and things like that. So we've tried to, I'm in the midst of making gardens and things like that. Put this sweet deck on, which is awesome. The cladding on the house is a specific type, and I've forgotten details about it, but I do know that you can actually remove it, and it's nice and light. So for traveling and things like that, it was really good. It's pretty resilient, apparently. The corrugated iron detailing on it was silver when I got it, and I actually hated it. This particular tiny house is joined to a main property, which has got the whole house is covered in that. So we painted it red to match that, which is really cool. So, and I like that kind of barn red with the dark cladding. So that all works out well. I do have a lot of things, and that's not ideal as a tiny house owner, but you'd be surprised what you can fit in it and still make it look aesthetically pleasing. So if you're looking at smaller living, it's not it's a really nice feeling. So for someone that has a lot of things and has a lot of hobbies and a lot of toys, it's all very doable. So yeah. So I'm an artist and I work in the film industry. I do a lot of painting, mixed media work, graphic design work, illustration, all that sort of stuff. So my work is varied, but living here allows me to have some time away from kind of the city life and that sort of environment. So I come up here and I create. If you're interested in my work at all, I can be found on Instagram under Sonia_artist. That's my Instagram handle. I actually do have quite a few different links and things, but yeah, on Facebook as well. Yeah, so I'd love to connect with you and chat to you about anything about tiny houses or art or anything you may be interested in, so hit me up.